Secrets, if you really look at yourself, you would be speechless. What happened to being doctors and teachers? What happened to being your brother's keeper? Nowadays, kids more work.
DJ
BandClap.
She the one you thought would never do a solo LP. Yeah, now what? Check it out, tell me what? Drama comes in dozens and I know you love it. A rose is still a rose, so I rose above it. The more that they see the woman got a mind of her own, the less that they want a part of my throne to give it. But the more they compare me to the ones they could own, they know they never should have left me alone. I'm bigger, I'm with that money gang and my Jesus up. Treat me like David Blaine and freeze me up. Let me address the issue, I'm super, not superficial. For me, the only statement I'm making is for key. 7 digits never under my bank account hold. Numbers like your phone numbers plus area code. Gamble with your career, go ahead, chance her. See what it's her, see what it's her.
And get on out. Yeah, product, that's it. Yup, Goddess Essence, that's right. That's right. So now you got this message, this streamlined message, because when you take, it's kind of like eating catfish. You know, I remember when my granddad, God rest his soul, my mom used to tell this story about how my granddad had this catfish. And you know, the catfish got all the little bones in it and stuff. And he made him a sandwich and he was too lazy to pick out all the bones. And he ended up choking. He ended up choking off of some of the bones. And I remember my grandma had to rush him to the hospital. And she was stuffing bread down his throat, I guess, to keep him from going into shock or whatever. So, but you know, when you take the bones out, the meat is still good. So with that being said, for somebody who looks at this Black is King in a very soul family, occult-like type of way, there's a lot of good things that you can get from this as well. Especially when you talk about the monologues and that's what I feel like. That's the reason why that stuff was put in the forefront. You know, you got that soothing voice of Beyonce, and she's talking and talking about all this good stuff, and it's really good. And like I said, this movie is literally like Obama. Obama, you know, he was the savior, the lesser of two evils. But, you know, when we look in hindsight, you know, Obama was just like everybody else. And it hurt worse because, you know, he was black. You know, it hurt worse. And like I said, y'all watch out, because Ellen and Oprah, I think Ellen and Oprah already got you know, got their court dates and stuff like that. Oh, this shit about to get deep, y'all. You think what Jaguar said about the neo soul artist? You think that was something? Oh, it's about to get crazy. Wait till these court dates start popping up. You know? Takeoff. What happened with Takeoff? Oh shit. Tory Lanez then got deported. Takeoff. Something happened with Takeoff. Takeoff. He was like, fuck me. Every time you see an interview with the Migos and you see Takeoff, he always looked like he don't really want to be there. But I guess something went down where Takeoff was finally, and I remember saying this a long time ago. Oh, dang. See? You see what I mean? Dang. You see what I mean? You know, Nicki Minaj. You remember what you remember was going on with Nicki Minaj. And it's like Umar Johnson said, it's about to be the showdown, hoedown. It's literally about to be the showdown, hoedown around here. It's a court case going, oh my God. Wow. That's crazy. And stay tuned. Because literally since we can't really record reality shows and stuff like that no more, this whole media is a reality show. Nothing is as it seems. Nothing is as it seems. Why you said poor Nikki? Why you said poor Nikki? You know? So when you look at this, you got the situation with Megan Thee Stallion, not Beyonce, but Megan Thee Stallion, Kylie Jenner, and Tory Lanez. And Kylie Jenner is looked at right now as the innocent one. But is she really innocent? You know? Think about it. You know? Everybody's like, yo, Cardi B really need a hit this year. And this is it. All of this stuff. Is Cardi B really innocent? You know, she always talked about the stuff that she had to do to get into Hollywood. And then last but not least, Beyonce. And this is kind of, you know, about Beyonce because Beyonce, she's like one of the cleanest female celebrities that I know about. She's literally one of the cleanest celebrities. Like there's really no controversy about her. There's no scandals really about her. Nothing. You know? But it's not as genuine. It's not as genuine as you would think. You know, it's like the opposite of Michael Jackson. It's like Michael Jackson, you know, he was very genuine. He had a lot of interviews. You know, you pretty much seen Michael Jackson grow up. So it was like when all the stuff was happening with Michael Jackson, you know, it was like, yo, like I remember Michael Jackson, he didn't have a childhood. He always talked about this. He always talked about that. You know, nothing was really hidden with Michael Jackson. Nothing was really hidden with Michael Jackson. Everything was out in the open. So if Michael Jackson really did molest those children, he wouldn't have got acquitted because literally everything was out in the open. You know? So it was like when Michael Jackson is venerated, you know, as that God being, it's like, yeah. But then when you look at Beyonce, it's just a lot of things that's just, you know, it's a lot of secrets. And it's bad because it's like you find out one thing about Beyonce, like the whole thing about the her drummer or something like that came out and said that Beyonce was doing voodoo or doing something and killed her cat and all of this stuff. Have y'all heard from her again after she came out and said that? Have y'all heard from her anymore? Have y'all heard anything else from that? Have y'all heard anything else from that lady? Or any major person? Even the people that Beyonce got with. Even the people that Beyonce got with before Jay. You don't hear them dudes coming out talking about, yeah, you know, I was with Beyonce, yeah, I mean, and you don't hear none of that. You know, literally when Beyonce comes out, it's because she's doing music. You know, when she do interviews, they're scripted. Everything is already wrote out. Everything is already scripted and rehearsed. You know, and when you look at the Beyonce of today and you look at her back in the day, Destiny's Child, and you pay attention to her eyes. The eyes, that's all I'm going to say. The eyes tell a big story. Remember that video that was surfacing with Jay-Z and Beyonce at the basketball game, and Beyonce was swaying from left to right, and her eyes was looking in looking real dazed and all of that. And then remember Cardi B when she was at the war show and she was about to say something, and then she just she just kind of turned like And then y'all remember with Kanye, you know, see, all of this stuff is connected. And we know about Kylie Jenner and the Kardashians. We know how they get down. We know how they all get down. The elevator. Yup. Solange don't get a lot of attention like that. She don't get a lot of attention like that. Glitching. They need that energy. And I can't get over that Super Bowl performance that Beyonce did when not the one where she was doing the Black Lives Matter stuff. I'm talking about the other one when she was like, "Give me your energy." I'm talking about that one. You know, it's so much. Like I said, this matrix is crumbling. Observe and take notes. It's so much stuff that's still about to be exposed. It's still so much stuff that's still about to be exposed. So just sit back and, like I said, stay in the middle. Stay in the middle. Don't veer off to Cardi B's side, because Cardi B is already out making her videos defending Kylie Jenner. Don't go to Kylie Jenner's side because she appeared innocent during the whole thing with Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lane. And don't go to all the way to Beyonce's side either. Because one thing Akasha told me, nobody in this industry is innocent. And just like what Eddie Murphy? No, dang, what's his name? Eddie Griffin. Eddie Griffin said nobody come out clean. When it comes to this, these celebrities in Hollywood and stuff like that, nobody comes out clean. You know? We don't know what the real list is of the celebrities that paid a visit to the Epstein Island. Yup. We don't know who really was on that list at the Epstein Island. We don't know because you know, a lot of the stuff that you see in the media you know, is propaganda. A lot of confusion. I felt like it was a come to her destiny. What you mean about that? It was a come to her destiny. Being shot in the... Yeah. You know? And there's also a connection between Megan going down like that. And then all of a sudden now we got the resurgence of Brandy and Moesha. Everybody talking about Moesha again. Moesha is now on Netflix. Brandy that came out with a new album about the 7. You know, Aaliyah was a Life Path 7. Marilyn Monroe was a Life Path 7. There's a lot of symbology with that. And one of the first singles she came out with was Baby Mama, which, let me see something.
The release date of Baby Mama was November 23rd, 2004.
So remember, in 2004, Fantasia came out with her version of Baby Mama. 4 + 2 is 6. So y'all do the math. Y'all do the math and tell me how many years has it been since 2004, you know, and 2020. And y'all add that up. Life Path 8. That's a life path of Oya, because Oya, she's 8 and 9. She's 8 and 9. And that goes real deep. Oh, 7. There you go. There you go. There you go. So the main reason why I just wanted to make this was just to really because I there's a lot of, like I said, in my forecast. I really urge y'all to go to my Patreon just so you can look at my forecast, my full forecast, because all this stuff that we're going through, all this stuff that I'm talking about, I literally talked about this to the T in my forecast for this week. Everything to the T in the forecast that I did for last week. I mean, for this week. And one of the things that I said is that there's going to be a lot of hurt, because there's going to be things that's going to be exposed about people that you didn't even know. And it's going to hurt a lot of people. Like we all held Common to a high standard. We all love Common, you know. And Common, you know, he really didn't have nothing bad about him. You know, he was cool, real cool. And now Jaguar coming out talking about Common tried to rape her. It's like, damn. And then, you know, Jill Scott and Erykah Badu, in my book, when it comes to singers, is still one of the best versus battles that I've ever seen when it comes to female singers. And then she took jabs at Jill Scott and Erykah Badu, airing out they dirty laundry. And I know somewhere in the world, somebody was hurt about that. Yep, the cat theme is heavy. Exactly. Jaguar. You right, Goddess Essence. You know, like I say, I can't catch everything. I can't catch everything. You know. So you had the entanglement for July. You got the Blackest Kings. You got all this stuff going on in August. So imagine what September gonna be like when we get into Virgo season. Woo-wee. That's gonna be something right there. Whoa. Because that Virgo energy ain't no joke. It ain't no joke. See, Jaguar was really saying a lot. I wasn't ready for that. Exactly. A lot of people was in pain. A lot of people was in pain. And it's not over. It's not over. by a long shot. You know, it's not over. All these fires and it's Leo season. Exactly. You know, and like I said, it ain't over. It ain't over yet. So just had to come on here and talk to y'all because I don't there's a lot of people that's lost right now because of the stuff that was going on with Pretty Boss. Shout out to Pretty Boss. This isn't to disparage her. This isn't to say nothing bad about her, because at the end of the day, her path is her path. You know, this time right here that we're in is shit or get off the pot. If you're not real, if you're not authentic, and if you're not doing what you're supposed to do for the betterment of waking up the masses and stuff like that, the feminine, the great mother energy is not playing. The great mother energy is not playing, and if you're tiptoeing and dibble dabbling around in this underworld, in this, you know, there's going to be a lot of pretty bosses, and I'm already seeing it. Like, there's so many videos talking about I went from New Age back to Yah, or back to Christianity, or back to Muslim, back to Islam, back to Hebrew Israelite. It's a lot of that. And a lot of these videos are like this year, you know, and a lot of people had a lot of negative stuff to say, but I'm like, look, you know, that's your path. The only thing that I have to say about it, why the hell are you following people? Why the hell are you following people? Because you got so many people that's lost because of what Pretty Boss did. And that's not supposed to be the case. You got a lot of people that's lost because they was looking at the same way we look at these celebrities. They was looking at Pretty Boss as she was as she was the most high or something. So when she was like, oh, I'm finna go back to Yah, you had a lot of those people, now they're confused. They're like, damn, you know, is what I'm going through, do I need to go back to Yah too, or whatever? So just like I said, in my forecast that I did for this week, I was saying, don't be following these people. Don't be following these people, because at the end of the day, and shoot, I'm in it too. I appreciate all of y'all for rocking with me and stuff like that, but I'm not no damn Jesus Christ, you know? So I don't even want you to take my word for it, for everything. Do your own research and let what resonate with you, let it speak through you, you know? Because just like how I made that video about sex is the lowest level of communication, and then I came back years later with the metaphysics of sex, you know, and I brought a different perspective to it. That's what happens when you're on this journey and you're learning. That's what happens when you're on this journey and you're learning. You're not gonna subscribe to the same information and look at it the same way that you looked at it when you first got on the journey. You know, when you mature and when you grow and stuff like that, you know, you get different perspectives. You know, you get different perspectives, but it's still the truth. It's still truth. You know? So, like I said, don't be following these people, because at the end of the day, when you have teachers and stuff like that, they're only in your life for a season. And then when it's time for you to go, because you've learned all the lessons that teacher can provide for you, then your spirit guides and your higher self is gonna bring into your life the next teacher. But don't be going from teacher to teacher and you're not led by the spirit to do that. Because like I said, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. You know, graduation, exactly. Shoot. When I was in elementary school, I loved my kindergarten teacher, Miss Williams, to death. I loved her because she was my first teacher. You know, so even when I was in the 6th grade, and we in portables, and Miss Williams' kindergarten class was in the building, the actual school building, I remember a lot of times I would run down the hall and I would go see Miss Williams, give her a hug. You know, she would give me some candy, all of this stuff, you know. But I've already graduated from kindergarten. So when I go back, I'm not going back so I can sit back in her class and talk about I want to be back in kindergarten. No, you know, because that information, I've already learned it. I already know how to read and write. I already know how to count. I already know my ABCs and my colors, and I already know all of that stuff. You know? And you have a lot of stagnant spiritual people because they're caught up in this intellectual masturbation, because they don't want to come to terms with, okay, I know this information, so now let me go find some more stuff, some deeper stuff. Because like I always say, still water is dead water. Still water is dead water. You gotta keep going with the flow. You gotta keep flowing. You gotta keep going. You gotta keep flowing. You know, is not about always keeping your ego big, because when you're on this journey, your ego is gonna fluctuate. You know, your ego is gonna get big when you learn some stuff and you share it to others, and then when somebody brings a different perspective to what you thought you knew, now you got to kill your ego and really look at that as, okay, let me research this and see what this is about. And then you find out that maybe you're onto something with this, and then you go and the same thing happens over and over and over. You know, your soul always takes the wheel. Exactly. And that's how it is. You know, your soul is always going to let you know, all right, it's time for us to dip on up out of here and go to another teacher. Learn some more stuff. You know, like I said, it took me forever to get to Bobby Hemmett. It took me years. I started my occult journey in 2015, but I didn't get to Bobby Hemmett until like late 2017 after Hurricane Irma. So Oya, and that was one of my first encounters with Oya. Literally Hurricane Irma. I remember doing this ritual thing to Oya just for protection, to protect me from the hurricane. And I woke up because it was storming, the lights was out, the power was out, and I woke up and I was protected, but I was scratching myself in my sleep. I literally scratched a thunderbolt in my arm and like these 4 dots next to it, like a thunderbolt and like 4 dots that was around the thunderbolt. And I looked it up, and that was Oya's Veve. And that was my first encounter with that Oya energy, and it transformed something in my mind to the point where now I'm able to digest the information that Bobby Hemmett is talking about, and I don't look at him as a crazy old man, a crazy old psychotic man like I used to. Said, I remember there was a huge eclipse around that time too. Exactly. You know? So yeah. Since I got my own relationship with the Orishas, a lot of the stuff that I may say, it might not be something that you're just gonna get out of a book like that. You know? It's not going to be something that you're just going to always be able to research with literature, because the mind is all. Akasha holds all the records. So if you really want to know some information, you got to go to the underworld and you got to get in touch with Akasha. And she'll let you know what's up. Akasha will let you know what's up, but you can't be afraid of how she look. See, that's the thing. You know, a monster is only something that you don't understand. When you don't understand something, it's a monster, and you fear it. You fear what you don't understand. But if you have an open mind and a righteous spirit, because that's the key. Because you can have an open mind and go into the underworld, but if your spirit ain't right, all kind of low level entities is gonna fuck you up. So you can't have one without the other. You got to have an open mind and a pure heart and a righteous spirit. You know, and you go into that underworld like that boy did, because as you can see, it was a whole lot of in that Black is King when that little boy went into the underworld and he got face to face with Eshu. Nothing bad happened to that little boy. Did y'all peep that? When that little black boy went into the underworld, where all that stuff was going on and all of that, you know, he was not harmed. He wasn't harmed at all. Because when you go into the underworld and you go into there with that knowing inside that you are the king, you are the queen, and you're open-minded, you're humble, you know, you got a pure heart, you just want to learn. You're not going to meet Pambagera. I don't know why I just said Pambagera. You're not going to meet Pambagera because you want a damn love spell, or you trying to stop somebody from cheating on you or something like that, because she gonna ask you for a fee. When you deal with these entities a certain way, the way you start is the way you finish. And that was one of the things that Pretty Boss had to learn the hard way. The way you start is the way you finish. Now, I was lucky. But like I said, the way you start is the way you finish. So that's why you learning the religion of it first can kind of be a hindrance a little bit, because you're taught to deal with these energies in a systematic type of way. You got to worship them on this day. You got to have this type of ingredients. You got to have this type of altar. You got to do it like this. You got to have a certain type of ceremony. You got to have a certain type of song. You got to have a certain type of dance, and all of this stuff. And you thinking about all of this stuff, and the soul essence of the energy is pushed farther and farther and farther and farther back, to the point where it kind of turns into a routine. Like, all right, I'm finna go put my altar this day, and I'm finna go do this. All right, let me go, you know. So when you deal with these entities in that type of way, it's like a business relationship. And when you don't, what's the word? If you renege on what you say you're gonna do, just like in a regular business in the world, there are consequences. So if you say, I'm gonna give Oshun these oranges and these, you know, whatever, lemons or whatever, so she can do this work for me. And then you doing work for other people and all of that, doing spells and doing rituals and all of this stuff for other people, and you doing all of this. And Haitian Boko Lynette Mary, he talk about that all the time. That's how these people be getting fucked up. And sometimes it'll be a situation to where the person that you did it for, they end up suffering. You know? Because like I say, it's all in how you start. It's all in how you start. And the last thing that I want to talk about right quick is a channel that I got from Oshun. And this doesn't only apply to Oshun, and Brother Panic talked about this a lot. This don't apply to Oshun. This just applies to you know, this side of spirituality in general. You got three different forms, and I'm gonna just use Oshun as an example. You got three different forms of this Oshun energy, right? Since we talking about the Black Parade, the Beyonce Black Parade, and she talking about the Oshun energy. You got the baby Oshun, which is the most innocent and the purest essence of her, of that energy. The purest, the most innocent, and the most purest essence of that energy, the baby Oshun. And like I said, when it comes to babies and kids, you don't look to kids for wisdom. You don't look to children for wisdom. You don't look to children for knowledge. And these children, especially these children that's being born now, man, these children coming out the womb with cosmic knowledge. As soon as that baby learn how to talk, that baby telling you off. You like, shit, how old are you again? You like, that child like 9 or 10 years old, and she got all this knowledge that she could teach a damn master class. And you like, damn, like, how do you know this? You know, how many of my mothers out there that got children like that? They just unbelievably smart. Too smart for their own good. Damn near. You know? Because they haven't been programmed yet. They haven't been programmed yet. Yeah, they're not called alpha gen for nothing. Exactly. You know, and I know a lot of my mothers that's listening to this, y'all can really understand what I'm talking about. Y'all can really understand what I'm talking about. So nobody really sets out nobody really sets out to find the baby Oshun. Nobody sets out to find the baby Oshun, because when you work with the baby Oshun, you know, she deals with literally your heart and your soul. So if you ain't got a pure heart and a pure soul, you know, you in it for the money, you in it for the vanity, you in it for the riches and all of that, you can't even access the baby Oshun. You can't even access that. You got to have it's like you got to have a certain type of just wanting to embody that self-love and all of that in order for you to even get to that level where the baby Oshun is at. Because like I always say, when it comes to Oshun in general, once she gets cool with you and she feels like she can be herself with you, you know, she starts stripping herself to her least component. Like I say, Oshun don't really wear clothes like that. Daughters of Oshun, when they get cool with you as a man, they be walking around your house naked and love their body, in love with themselves, in love with their body, you know, and they know what's up. You know, they know what's up. So now take that into a spiritual standpoint. So the lowest compound in a spiritual standpoint is a baby. Is the most purest, innocent, most innocent form of that energy before it was programmed by men. That's very important. The most innocent, most purest form of the energy before it was programmed by men. And when I say by men, you know, I mean by humans. I don't mean like man and woman. I mean by humans. You know, by humans. So as an example, just like when I went to the baby Oshun and I was asking the baby Oshun for money, and she didn't understand what I was talking about because babies don't know nothing about money. So I pulled out $1, and this is in meditation. I pulled out $1 and I gave it to her, and I was like, I want you to multiply this $1. And the baby Oshun, you know, she looked at it, she turned it around, and she damn near put it in her mouth, about to eat it. And I'm like, whoa, no, like I need I said something about prosperity and abundance or something like that. And it was like, when I said those words, it was like something just lit up, and it was like she understood. And then she got up and she put her hands up and she started twirling around, you know, spinning with her hands up. That's why I knew that 7-Eleven song, Beyonce was channeling some shit in that 7-Eleven song. You better use that for your rituals. You know, you better spin while your hands up with that alcohol. You know, and while she was spinning around with her hands up, I can feel something in my heart. Like I felt rich, like inside, I felt rich on the inside. And what the baby Oshun was trying to teach me was that when you're rich, when you feel rich on the inside, and you know that your riches come from your soul, your riches come from within. We never lost our spot as the great kings and queens of this realm. We never really lost it. And when you figure that back out, who you really are, you start to feel rich on the inside. So it's like when you start mentally and you start visualizing and all this stuff, because you feel like this on the inside, it don't got nothing. It's like it ain't got no choice but to portray itself on the outward level, on the physical. It got no choice, because you already feel rich on the inside. And that's what the baby Oshun teaches you. So then the second version of Oshun represents you as a person going through the paths, going through her many paths, and each of Oshun's paths have a different result. But it's all to teach you about self-love, and beauty is from within, and all of those type of things. You know, so that's the second part of Oshun, and that part of her is very skewed, because you got a lot of daughters of Oshun that's walking around and they're not into this spirituality because it wasn't taught to them, so they don't know where to go, they don't know where to look, they don't know. They don't understand themselves. They don't know. You know? So that's where your women who are lost, and they become thoughts, and they become attention whores, and they become those ladies that are always seeking for attention and validation. And then on the negative part, it can turn into people like Lil' Kim. You know, every time you look in the mirror, you always see something that you need to change about yourself. You know, Stuff like that. But if only you knew that the stuff that you went through, and this is something that when I do my readings, man, this is the most powerful part about my readings, because when I put two and two together and these ladies figure out who they really are, it's like a light bulb just flicker. They're like, oh shit. Why is it that you telling me these patakis and this is literally talking about my life? Like, you literally talking about my life. I done gave women so many readings and they was crying to me. Like, I'm telling the story about Obanani and Oya and all of this stuff. And they like, yo, like, how did you know? Like, this happened to me. Like, I'm going through this right now. And then I showed him, like, okay, the reason why you're going through this is because this is going to be the result. And I always get the same thing, like, yo, I always felt on the inside that this is who I am, but I didn't know how to I didn't have a roadmap. I didn't have a roadmap to figure out how to get there. So me being the Papa Legba, me being the SU, you know, opener of the way, I don't do anything special. I'm just opening up a way that I'm just clearing out the way that you already got inside of you. It ain't really nothing special that I'm doing, you know. But that's very, very important. And then last but not least, you got the third form. And this is the Archon. This is the Archon, Oshun. This is the Archon. You know, because and this is what people in this spirituality don't like talking about. And RFG, the Chosen One, had a good point. Just like how you got a system of soulless beings to keep you trapped in this matrix so you won't get conscious, and then you got the people in the conscious community, in the spiritual community, that's doing the exact opposite. Well, I hate to bust your bubble, but a lot of these Orishas that are born from Yemoya, because you got Yembo, which is the cosmic mother, and you got some Orishas like Oya, Eshu, Ogun. You got the primordial. You got the primordial Orishas, and then when she split into Yemoya, and then Yemoya had children, all of those Orishas represent different seasons on the earth. They represent different things when it comes to this earth. And when you tap in and deal with these Orishas, they're here to help you have a better experience on earth. And a lot of these Orishas live in the astral realm. And the astral realm is still in this dimension. It's still in this earthly realm. It's just a higher dimension of it. You know? So you got a lot of these people, and they dealing with these earthly Orishas, and they really think they doing something. You know? Until they figure this out. And a lot of people don't. Because it's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that all of the primordial Yembo Orishas are looked at as bad. Ogun, he's looked at as bad. Eshu, he's looked at as bad. Legba, you know, looked at as bad. You know, even when we talk about Yembo on Earth, the Cancer Mother, looked at as bad because she's very sensitive. She's very, you know, she it's hard for her to discipline her children, stuff like that. Like all the primordial deities that you need to be messing with, because these are the deities that are connected to the universe primordial essence of where you came from. They're all looked at as something bad. But let me tell y'all like this, and Brother Panic, he already said this. When these orishas, when a lot of these orishas and a lot of these deities and stuff like that, once man created a religion around them, and they created this entity, they gave it a name, they gave it a birth date, they gave it a day, they gave it a certain day to worship, they gave it all of these different things. And then they took the spiritual essence from it. So now you got this archonic being named Oshun. So if you go into the religion of it and you're lost, and you don't realize that Oshun is something inside of you as a woman, and you're worshiping this deity outside of you, then that's the archon. That's the archon part of it. And these archons are put here to keep you cycling through reincarnation. To keep you cycling through reincarnation. You know. So with that being said, archons don't really have your best interest at heart when you're really, really, really trying to go deep and figure out that you are the God.
In the beat, in the Land Cruiser Jeep with the Mac 10 by the seat. For the jackers, the jealous ass crackers in the blue suits, I make you prove that it's bulletproof. Hold your head,